Hello, how are you? Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm Kitty, and today there's no brew. I know, it's very, very upsetting. The only reason why there's no brew today is because I still have some editing I have to do on it. The reason why we won't be putting the brew, the one with Quarks and Rec, out today is because I still need to add some stuff on it, and it will come out next Saturday. But that'll be the last brew for the month of July. Now you're probably wondering, what do you mean? Is it canceled? Is everything okay between you, Ricky, and Sauce? Everything's fine. When it comes to the brew, we need to organize it a little bit better, and we are taking the steps and the foundations to make the brew not only functional for us, but more accommodating for you as a viewer, seeing it more frequently. Next week, we are cracking down and getting more brews done. We will have some stuff ready to go when the next months roll around. The only reason why we're telling you this is because a brew takes a week to make. Let me walk you through the process. So we start out with a concept and idea through the scripting phase, and that's usually Sauce's department. He goes over everything, talks about it, and see what works and melds together, and we all go back and forth. We have everything scripted from source links as well as things we could possibly check out and or watch. When it comes to the next phase, which is recording, depending, like with the Quarks episode, if we had an interview, we had to set up a time and a date, like most interviews, and we asked for the links and everything to be prepped and ready to go. The recording takes place. Ricky does the recording part on his end. So he records it, edits it, sends it back to me, and then I do the final audio mix on it in Adobe Audition. Now once that's done and all ready to go, I throw it in Sony Vegas. And when I throw it in Sony Vegas, I have to sync up our looping animation video file, and then I have to put the proper corresponding imageries with said topics, or with the interview. Go, look for the images, look for the certain things that they talked about, just to make sure that everything stays on topic. Because when you listen to a podcast, it's not always visual. So I like to keep it spicy, and I like to put visuals in it. Once that's done, we render that bitch. We render it, and then we end up doing a reaction. Ricky records that, uploads it to Google, I download it, I edit in Sony Vegas, and then I make sure it's done and complete with also gags and whatnot to make sure it passes the fair use laws. After that's done, I take both of those files, place them in Sony Vegas, and I save that as the main meat and potatoes of it. Now, I have a template for credits, so depending on who is on the show, I end up throwing their credits in there saying special guests of whoever is in there. So it'll be special guest Gonzo, Quarks and Rec, Sharkwing, whoever, whatever. And I edit that. This time I had to actually give a special thanks to my husband because he's helping the one with the Quarks and Rec episode. He helped me film. So that's in there in the credits. Then after that's done, I film. And I end up getting into costume, I end up doing my hair, and I have to take a couple of takes to get it just right because I use a microphone. I use a separate microphone from my voice acting microphone. I have as you've probably seen, I have the microphone and I talk. And I use Adobe After Effects, and I film on the camera that you're viewing me on right now. I sync those two up once I'm happy with the audio. And then I find the videos that correspond with it. And of course, I have to go through so many video files because I love tripping up on my words. That's a very big talent I have. I throw that into Premiere Pro. And once that's in Premiere Pro, I end up editing it all. And I have to chroma key it, add the set. And when I say the set, the backdrop, the pillar, Sassmac. We love you, Sassmac.
Lol, bitch, you know it.
I have Sassmac running in the background. And he's just there doing the visuals in the background for it, giving it some spice. Then, once that's done, all edited in the way I like it visually with the filters and everything, I end up rendering it and then throwing those videos, or the video, because I have it chopped up in sequence in Premiere, but I render it all as one so I can take it piece by piece, depending on what requires or calls for the scene, and I throw it into Sony Vegas, and the big one that we talked about earlier, the big five. Then, if I have already pre-made commercials, I throw that in there, and I, mix it up every now and then. Since the brew is trying to create more home-brewed, home brew things, like commercials and whatnot, it takes a little bit longer. Only because is that we're trying to avoid any copyrights. We want to be as much home creation as possible. I'm talking with my hands. Do you see the emotion I am conveying? So, with that being said, once that's done with all the commercials and everything, then we render it all together. And even before we render the whole enchilada, we have to get music. And thankfully, Ricky is blessed with the music powers, and he'll give us some magical music that is copyright and royalty free, so we don't get yelled at. So we end up plopping it in there in the segments that are required. And if you want to check out more of his music, his Bandcamp's down below, by the way. We end up putting it in there with what scenes are needed for it, and then we render it all together, and sometimes I even have to make new bumpers or one that says, "We'll be right back after these messages," or "Hey, we're back." Those are called bumpers. So we end up doing that, and then we end up rendering it all together. And if you do have ad block on or ad block not on, I mean, you still get funny fake commercials, but you also get real commercials because of the whole monetization thing. And then we render it one more time, and it might be from 8 hours to 14 hours, depending how big the file is. And then I upload it to my YouTube channel, and that's either about 4, 5, maybe a couple of hours, depending on how big it is, and then it's out. And that's how the brew, good lord, that is how the brew is processed. So that's why there's only going to be brews bi-weekly per month, rather. And we just thought I would come on here and explain the whole thing about the process of the brew and how it goes. It's a very, very big production. We're very much passionate about it, but Ricky has been worried because I'm doing a bulk of the editing, and then I'm going to get burnt out and not do any original content for my channel that's separate from the brew. I'm very passionate about the brew. The brew is my freaking baby, okay? But I'm very passionate about it, and Ricky and Sauce are very passionate about it too. We just really work hard on it. We want to do the best we can. Only putting one brew out this month and having the next brews ready for August and September and then October will be set, and we'll be ready to go, and you will have your episode. We encourage you coming on and giving us your opinions, like emailing us and interacting with us, leaving us voice messages. Like, we would love for your interaction because your input matters on the show, and I don't think we convey that enough. So I would just like to say that your input, your thoughts, and your feelings matter to the brew, and I really, really want you to know that, so that you can interact and knowing that you're heard. Send us a meme, send us whatever. We really like to make that connection with you guys, and we really want to convey a genuine connection between a creator and viewer, because you, being the consumer of the content, you definitely kind of give us feedback if something did well or something flopped. And that's why we always ask for your opinion. Sorry, I almost burped there. I ate earlier today. And on the behalf of me, Ricky, and Sauce, we are grateful for your lovely viewership. We love that you guys are enjoying the brew so far. We really work hard on it. If you are patient, we are very grateful for you. If you're not patient and you're just like, well, I want to see it now, I completely understand, because there are content creators where I'm like, when the fuck are you coming back? There is going to be other content in between that is non-brew related. That's more of like KittyHiPur related. I don't like saying that out loud because like Ricky keeps calling me super hyper sensational YouTuber. And it's just funny. That's the sort of the story with the brew and where we stand right now. Hopefully you guys understand. We're grateful for you, and I hope you know that we love you very much, and we love that your support and all that. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble for about 10 so many minutes. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, pleasant day, evening, or night. And there should be some maybe events happening. I don't know. Maybe there's a stream happening tonight. Hopefully, Kitty, make a stream happen. You owe it to them. Okay, me? Okay, me? Listen, you owe it to them. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you on the next brew. Mwah. Bye.